Disrespect doesn't lower your value, your reaction does. The moment someone throws a jab at you, something invisible happens. The energy in the room shifts. Even if it's just two people, the air feels different. And in that moment, nobody is really listening to the insult. They're watching you, your eyes, your posture, your breathing, your tone. Do you rush to defend yourself? Do you laugh too quickly? Do you snap? That reaction decides your status more than the insult ever could. Most men think strength means responding fast, saying something sharp, winning the moment. But real power has never been loud. It has never been rushed. Real power is controlled. Emotional men are easy to control. The second someone can move your emotions, they can move you. And if they can move you, they can position you. Disrespect is rarely random. It's a test. Sometimes the person knows they're testing you, sometimes they don't. But it's always a test. In the workplace, in relationships, in friendships, in public, someone makes a small comment, a joke, a sarcastic tone, a public correction, a smirk when you speak. They're measuring you. Can you stay steady, or can they shake you? Niccolo Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power is not about shouting, it's about perception, and perception is built under pressure. When things are calm, anyone can look confident. But when tension rises, that's when your real level is revealed. If you lose emotional control, you lose control of how people see you. And once someone sees you as reactive, they will press that button again. Picture this. You're at work. You present an idea. Someone interrupts and says, "That's not realistic." They lean back in their chair. The room goes quiet. All eyes shift to you. Your heart rate rises slightly. This is the moment that matters, not their words, your response. Most men rush to defend themselves. They talk faster. Their voice gets sharper. They over-explain. And, without realizing it, they lower their value. Now imagine a different response. You stop. You take one slow breath. You look at them calmly. You pause. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then you say, slowly, "What part isn't realistic?" Suddenly, the pressure moves back to them. Now they have to explain themselves clearly. The room watches them instead of you. That pause was not weakness, it was control. Silence is powerful because humans hate uncertainty. When you don't react the way they expect, it creates tension, and tension shifts power. Weak silence looks hurt, eyes drop, body tightens. Strong silence looks intentional. Steady eye contact, relaxed shoulders, slow breathing. The message is simple. You cannot move me. Most disrespect hides behind humor. Someone says something insulting and follows it with, "Relax, it's just a joke." But jokes are often truth wrapped in safety. Instead of laughing nervously, look at them calmly and say, "Explain it." No anger, no smile, just clarity. Watch how quickly confidence fades. When you remove the safety of ambiguity, people either back down or expose themselves. Another scenario. You're with friends. Someone says, "You're always late. You'll never change." Everyone laughs lightly. You feel the urge to defend yourself, to explain, to prove you're improving. Don't. Instead, respond slowly. That's your opinion. Then shift the conversation. When you don't defend yourself emotionally, you signal that their words don't define you. Here's another one. You're scrolling online. Someone comments negatively on your post. It's passive-aggressive, meant to provoke. Your first instinct is to argue back. But pause, take a breath, respond with calm. "Thanks for sharing your thoughts." That's it. No debate, no anger. The online observer sees your composure. You gain credibility. The keyboard warrior is revealed as reactive. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Disrespect only hurts deeply when it touches something unresolved inside you. If someone questions your intelligence and it burns, there may be self-doubt there. If someone mocks your ambition and you explode, maybe you're afraid of failing. Disrespect acts like a mirror. Most people fight the mirror. Strong men use it. They learn from it. They let it sharpen their focus without touching their composure. In The Prince, Machiavelli makes something clear. Instability destroys authority. A leader who reacts emotionally becomes predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate. But the calm person who responds slowly, who chooses words carefully, who doesn't chase validation, that person becomes difficult to read. And difficult to read means difficult to control. Let's talk about public disrespect, because this is where reputations are formed. In competitive environments, especially in American culture where status shifts constantly, one emotional outburst can label you as unstable. People may not say it openly, but they will remember. Reputation spreads quietly, and once people categorize you as reactive, they treat you differently. People don't remember exact sentences from arguments. They remember who stayed calm. They remember who didn't flinch. They remember who controlled their tone. That memory builds silent respect. But calm does not mean passive. If someone clearly crosses a line, you respond. Briefly, directly. Don't speak to me like that. No long speech, no emotional charge, just clarity. Then silence. The shorter the sentence, the stronger it sounds. Long explanations sound like insecurity. Short boundaries sound like confidence. There's another move most men ignore: strategic distance. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, don't argue constantly. Reduce access, less time, less energy, less attention. Attention is power. When you calmly withdraw it, people feel it immediately. You don't punish with anger. You punish with absence. And absence is louder than shouting. Now here's something deeper. The strongest position you can hold in any interaction is emotional independence. When your mood isn't controlled by someone else's words, you become stable. Stability signals leadership. Volatility signals insecurity. Even if you're right, if you're emotional, you lose perceived strength. Think about the most respected people you've seen. They don't rush to defend themselves. They don't argue over every comment. They move slowly. They speak less. They choose carefully. Their calmness makes others uncomfortable because it reveals who lacks control. Here's a scenario most men never consider. A friend publicly criticizes you in a group chat. Everyone watches. Most people would reply quickly, defensively, or even angrily. But instead, you pause. Hours later, you respond calmly, short, clear, controlled. That delayed response makes you appear untouchable. They feel the difference immediately. Here's a real-life example you can picture. You're at a party. Someone mocks your clothes, trying to embarrass you in front of everyone. Most men laugh nervously or snap back. You stand tall. Take one slow breath, slight smile, and say nothing. The room shifts. The person who mocked feels small. And the others? They see you as confident. The lesson: composure dominates attention more than words. Now imagine a family gathering. An uncle or older relative makes a snide remark, something that hits your personal life. Most people react quickly, trying to explain themselves, but instead, you pause. Calmly sip your drink and redirect the conversation to another topic. The subtle control is felt by everyone around. You are not only protecting your emotions, but you are subtly teaching respect. The world tests calm men more than emotional men. Why? Because calm men are rare. Most people operate on impulse. They react instantly. They defend instantly. They attack instantly. When you don't follow that pattern, you stand out. You break expectations. And breaking expectations creates authority. Imagine someone tries to provoke you intentionally. They expect anger. They expect a comeback. Instead, you breathe. You look at them steadily. Slight pause. Interesting. And that's it. No escalation, no argument. Now they feel small because their goal was to create chaos, and you refuse to participate. Here's another situation. At a social event, someone openly mocks your career choice. Most people would explain themselves, defend their work, or get embarrassed. You pause. Calm tone. That's your perspective. Then you move on. No energy wasted. The room notices your poise. You become the one in control, not the instigator. Most men want to win the moment, but powerful men think long-term. They understand that dominance isn't about dramatic comebacks. It's about consistent emotional control. It's about becoming so stable that people stop testing you because they realize you cannot be shaken. Here's the shift. Stop seeing disrespect as an attack. Start seeing it as information. Who feels insecure? Who feels threatened? Who seeks attention? Once you detach emotionally, you begin responding strategically. And strategy always beats impulse. Your reaction is always a choice. Between stimulus and response, there is a small space. That space is where your power lives. If you rush through it, you give that power away. If you slow down and control it, you build strength. The next time someone disrespects you, don't rush. Slow your breathing. Relax your face. Keep your tone steady. Speak slower than usual, or don't speak at all. Let the silence work. Let the tension shift. Let them feel their own words. Because the man who cannot be emotionally moved cannot be easily controlled. And the man who cannot be controlled becomes difficult to challenge. If this message hit you, it's because you've felt this before. You've felt that moment where you reacted too fast, where you wished you had stayed calmer. That awareness is growth, and growth begins with discipline. If you want to build real mental strength, start here. Master your reactions, control your emotions, and watch how people treat you differently. If this gave you value, like the video. Subscribe for more content on power, discipline, and psychological control. Hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Remember, the loudest man in the room is rarely the strongest. The calmest one usually is.